Are you live yet, Tom? We're at 25 on the countdown. It'll reset, so if you didn't go live yet, wait. Should I let the countdown reset? It's at 10 seconds now. It'll go live? It's not live. Oh, it is live. Apparently it is live. Hi, Bill Taylor here, Ken's 5 Digital Center on a Monday night. You got a little taste of the behind the scenes with my digital ninjas, Tom and David, helping me out. Thanks, guys. I really do appreciate all your work, and I'm not kidding around there. We could not do this without you guys. You guys are awesome. So welcome in. Hello, Sheila, or Shelia. I'm sorry. Good to see you. Love to have you in on a Monday night. It is beautiful. The first big fall front. Wow, what a difference. About a 20 to 25 degree swing for most of you from yesterday to today. We stayed in the 70s all day long. Our high today, there's TransGuide. All right, David, see, I'm calling upon the digital ninjas once again. We've got TransGuide routed into the weather. Sorry. No, you're good. Roads are dry, so let's go with that. 35 at Space Center. There's 10 at Hildebrand on a beautiful Monday night. No, good news is, and it's not bad to start here, roads have dried out. So we didn't see a ton of rain, thank you, my friend. But what we did see made for some pretty slick streets most of today, led to an accident that Vanessa Croy covered at 4 o'clock. It was like a 3 or 4 car accident, pretty bad. Hopefully everyone's okay. Pray to God that everyone's okay. But look at this, 74. So this is almost a 10 degree below average high today, because we should be around 82 to 83. John Olson, what's going on? There's Patra. Love the autumn. Crystal, good evening to you too. Very much alive. Hey Javi, how you doing? Payman, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time. Guadalupe, isn't it great? It just feels so good. Carn City, what's going on, Ronnie? Hope things are great in the KC tonight. Let me see where we are currently. Oh, let me check wind gusts. I think they've kind of died down from earlier. If we don't see, we don't see much showing up. Rock Springs at 17 means that most of the areas 15 or below on gusts. That's why you don't see a number populating the city spot. So here's current readings. We're not in any 50s yet, but we're going to get there. 67 in the city, pair of 6s at Randolph, 61 Bernie and Bandera. Ashley, love the rain, but wish the weather we had today more. Right, more of today, right? And it will be pretty nice the next several days. In fact, let's take a look, since we're talking numbers, how low are we going to go tonight? With cloud cover, with winds that'll still be probably cruising around 10 to 12 miles an hour, looks like we go down to about the mid-50s, okay? I went with 56, I believe, and there we are. Between 7 and 8 a.m. is when we hit our low of the day. A Brit in Texas. Hey, Heather, yes. Loving this weather. I bet you are. I bet you are. That's awesome. Now, tomorrow afternoon, still well below average. 60s for an afternoon high tomorrow. So actually a little cooler than today. 62 should be the high in Rock Springs. They'll get out of the 50s at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, it's going to be a chilly day for the Hill Country. So if you have any plans out in the Texas Hill Country, make sure you dress accordingly. Ours, upper 60s under mostly sunny skies. So some mild days are coming, but I don't call 68 mild. That's a chilly day. The other big story is the drop in dew point. You know, what controls our humidity is that dew point temperature. When you're in the 40s, very pleasant. 50s, still very comfortable. We'll stay 40s, 50s through this entire work week. We don't jump into the 60s where you start feeling humidity until Saturday and Sunday, and that's going to help produce the next chance of rain. Hello, Vanessa. Patra, can you predict any color changes in the leaves? Hoping to see some autumn colors. Absolutely. So where you want to go for here, and just do a search on Los Maples. That's one of the best drivable spots to really see some good foliage. Most of the San Antonio area is not going to see the changeover that you see in the Northeast or in Colorado or some of these big, beautiful fall displays. But if you go to Los Maples, I think it's definitely worth the trip. It's a hill country drive. So kind of put a day or two aside for something like that. I don't know how long it takes. Anybody know? How long does it take to drive to Los Maples from here? Because I've never been myself, but I hear good things. Jesse, how long does it take to get to Los Maples from here?
About an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Thank you, brother. Jesse Perez, our 10 p.m. director. I almost called you producer. Director. Good to see you, man. Thank you. Ashley, loving the mid-60s. Oh, for like daytime highs? I bet, right? See, Patra knows about it. Couple hours, thank you. There's Elizabeth. Finally feeling good, right? And so that's the surface dries when we talk about the dew point. Now let's look at the mid-levels. You see the rain that moved across, the good moisture, kind of an overrunning rain where we had that Pacific moisture. Here's the cool surface, drier air coming in with the cold front. The Pacific moisture goes over top. So what you get is what's called elevated precipitation. This is precipitation that occurs above the boundary layer. We call that a boundary layer, where you get that mixing and you get that good convergence and precipitation develops. Well, above that is where this precipitation occurred today. And it'll fall into the surface, but a lot of times once you have that drier air at the surface, what precipitation does fall into that dry air evaporates. So a lot of times it'll hit the surface, or I mean, it'll show up on radar and not hit the surface. That didn't happen too much today. I mean, but this is kind of the setup that makes that happen. Look at that big low northeast. You see it over Chicago, Columbus, Ohio, pushing all that cold air into the southeast. So that's going to be the coldest air probably for sure. I want to take a look, see if I can find some national temps to get an idea what those temperatures are doing. Some of these things I can definitely get rid of right now. Where are we on? See what the dew points are doing. Oh, wow. Okay, that front's not in that position, but you can still see some pretty good moisture in the air. Deep South Texas. Hola, perfecto. Pleasanton feels pleasant tonight. I love it. I love it. I want some more of it. Out at the airport, 67. Dew point only 46. North and northeast is under 10 miles an hour right now. I want to see my national temps. I can't find them, guys. I'm looking for it. National map should have some numbers on it. There we go. Yeah, they had to cancel, postpone rather, the Yankees, I want to say Indians, but it's the Guardians game up in New York. Right, or was that game in Cleveland, David? It's in New York, thank you. 38 Minneapolis. I mean, you can see the difference. 43 Chicago. So it's not bitter cold, but it's definitely a lot colder east, because that's kind of the direction of that cold plunge from allergens. Absolutely. I'm glad you asked, Perfecto. Let me show you what the allergens did today, because it's kind of a trade-off. Whenever we start getting the rain we need, we get the mold count we don't need. So here's the good news. The rain knocked some of that ragweed down to a light count, but it also boosted the mold count to a heavy 1640 today. So you're feeling the molds for sure. Feeling the molds today. All right, let's see what we've got. Moving forward, high pressure is going to take over. The weather pattern really turns into a temperature forecast more than anything else, because high pressure is going to really keep things pretty quiet over the next several days. A lot of dry air moving in, so we're not expecting much of a change at all, with a good dryness in the air, clear skies. You're welcome. Was that yawn? I held in a yawn. That's what happens there. We're not going to have much moisture in the atmosphere at all, so it will be one of those patterns where we stay quiet most of this week, all of this week. In fact, it looks as though the next system is going to be a week from today, like Monday into Tuesday. So some pretty good sweater weather. There we go with from 66 down to the mid-50s tomorrow morning, down to the mid-40s Wednesday morning. Because again, the skies clear out, the air is very dry, and the winds die down. Those three components make for a really cold night. Remember, clear skies, light winds really helps radiational cooling. So whatever surface temperature you get has no way to come back down. You know, when the clouds are over top, what heat rises returns to the surface. It's almost like the clouds act as a blanket. So you stay warmer when you have cloud cover. But when you have zero clouds, and that's what's going to happen tomorrow, we're going to be mostly sunny to clear. And then when we get from Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, all of what surface, and we'll get up to about 68 tomorrow, 69 degrees for a high on Tuesday. Well, then all of that air is rising overnight, and we bottom out in the mid-40s on Wednesday morning. So 7-day forecast time, and you'll see the next chance of rain. You'll see the chilly mornings, and you'll see the gradual warming trend from 68 tomorrow to 72 Wednesday, 80s as we close out the work week, mid-80s as we get into the weekend. And then once again, just like today, the best chance of rain is going to be Sunday night into Monday with the next system on its way. So there you have it, 7-day. We'll see a few morning clouds early, but then Tuesday is all about the clearing, and it will be breezy at times tomorrow too. Another day of like 15 mile an hour, maybe an occasional gust to 18, 20 miles an hour. Nothing that'll move things around, but definitely a good chilly breeze on a beautiful day. I mean, tomorrow will be a beautiful day. Dry air, so make sure you've got your moisturizer, your lip balm. If you're like me, I've got dry skin, so I've got to moisturize for sure when we get into these weather patterns, because the air gets very dry for several days before we get to south. Because see, north and northeast winds through Wednesday, west on Thursday, south to southwest on Friday is when we'll still be getting dry air in place. So all this week, the air is going to be pretty dry. Dew points are going to be in the 40s. So I'm going to be moisturizing, and I hope you do too. D, what's happening? What is Texas weather going to be about tomorrow? There it is, clearing those morning clouds to a breezy, sunny afternoon, high in the upper 60s. Loving it. Sherry, you're welcome. It's so good. I can't say you're welcome without kind of tongue-in-cheeking it. Not that I provided you with this weather, I just get to report it, and it's good stuff. Good Chamber of Commerce weather, lots of sun. Oh, thanks, Jacob. Jacob has an incredible eye and a phenomenal camera and snaps some great pictures. I need to do a slideshow of your work, Jacob. Thank you for always sending me those. He does beautiful photography of our San Antonio missions. Have you treated yourself to the Mission Trail? You know, this city was founded on the missions. I mean, it was the Alamo, but then there's Mission Espada, Mission San Jose, Mission Concepcion, and you can go on the Mission Trail and see all of those. They're phenomenal, and Jacob captures them beautifully through the lens of his camera. So, will do, my brother. I will be sharing them up because they're good. They're good. Yep, the missions, the oldest churches in the city. All right, guys. I think that's going to about wrap things up on this Monday night. It'll be a pretty quiet week, lots of sunshine, but dress in layers. Especially, you know, Wednesday, Thursday especially, because you're going to be chilly in the morning, and by Thursday afternoon it's nice and warm, okay? So make sure to go and enjoy these days. Get out early for a nice little walk in this incredible mornings, refreshing. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Oh, I neglected to say the rain coincidence of today. It was on this day, October 17th, 1998, the great 100-year flood hit San Antonio. A stationary front drops in from the north, right over the hill country. It stalls out on top of us. A decaying tropical system in the eastern Pacific sends moisture across Mexico, right on top of South Texas, and that front becomes the trigger at the surface for what we call training. When you have a training situation, you have thunderstorms developing over the same area over and over again. And with that front not moving, it stalled out south of the hill country. That can happen quite often in this area because of the topography, where you have a 2,000 to 2,500 foot drop from the hill country into the city. I mean, we're a good downhill here in San Antonio, city on a hill. And when the front comes in, a lot of fronts like to stall out in that little drop. And so that's exactly what happened, and we had a ton of good Pacific moisture moving across Mexico on top of that front that became the surface trigger for the lift, and then in the enhanced area of thunderstorm activity, and it just trained over top of us. And October 17th and 18th, we had nearly 30 inches of rain in some areas. It was devastating. More than 20 people lost their lives in the October '98 floods here in San Antonio. It was unbelievable. I was here 2 years, and I was working weekends at the time. On Saturday mornings, I'll never forget this, on Saturday mornings I would shoot a segment called Tailor-Made Breakfast. You know how many different food segments are now, right? We do neighborhood eats here. We had Marvin Hurst that did that for years now. Lexi Hazlett does it. Well, this was like one of the first food segments, because this was literally 25 years ago. It was 1998. And so I would go out on a Saturday morning, and I would find a little eatery. I would tell their story, talk to the people who loved it, and I'd put it on Saturday at 10 p.m. Here's a great breakfast idea for your Sunday morning. And it was fantastic, the tailor-made breakfast. So there I am on Saturday morning, and we knew about the rain. We knew it was a very good chance of some heavy rain, but boy, we didn't know that front was going to stall out like it did and produce that training effect. And so, and we had some good rainfall totals in the forecast, but we weren't forecasting 20 plus. And I'm driving to work, and I'm like, Taylor, we're not shooting a tailor-made breakfast today. This is bad. I mean, just driving in at 9 a.m., I knew this was bad. It got bad fast. And so there we were in continuous coverage for the weekend. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. The '98 flood. A lot of you remember that one. I will, Jacob. Absolutely. You remember too, right, John? Absolutely. Gary, as always, Texas bipolar, right? Hard to be a weatherman. It is. It's not easy, my brother, but I love it. I love it. Thank you, Kathy. Great to see you too. Hey, Terry, good to see you. Oh, wait, when was your birthday? So, yeah, tonight at 10, I'm going to show you some of what it looked like in 1998 when that happened. 20, how's my math? I'm not good with public math. I got my TV ready for my photos. It was Saturday. Okay, Saturday it was. Let me just double check this real quick, because I like to make sure I'm correct. 24 years ago. Happy birthday, Terry. Happy birthday from Bill Taylor and the Ken's 5 Digital Centers. 2 days late, but it doesn't mean I don't love you, and I'm really happy for you. To you. And this drink's for you, Terry. Happy birthday. Hope it was a wonderful weekend. You know, when your birthday falls on a weekend, you get the entire weekend. So I hope you enjoyed. Here's to you. Blessings on your next journey around our sun. That's good. Pike's Place coffee. I always second guess when I say that. Pike's Place from our good friends at Starbucks. Spurs season starts Wednesday. I am ready. Shelly is ready. Some Spurs basketball. Let's do this.
Go Spurs, go.
Car show on Saturday. Awesome, Terry. Enjoy. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Make sure to join us on Ken's 5 News at 10. We're definitely going to have some incredible stories for you. We'll have a look back at the just surreal video. I mean, when you see what this city looked like in 1998, 24 years ago, when 20 plus inches of rain fell over the weekend, it's incredible to see. I love you. God bless y'all, and we'll see you at 10. Oh, praying for your son. Absolutely, Catherine. Thank you, Gary. God bless you and yours. Catherine, hope he feels better. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you at 10.